Hello, everybody. Welcome to our third pod shot.
Whoa!
Wow.
Yay.
I'm Zach, the information manager of the Alva Inn Building Library.
I'm Brittany, the director of the Alva Inn Building Library.
Hey, what's up?
I'm Chloe, one of the clerks.
Hey.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
I'm
Great.
good. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you guys excited about, let's announce the episode. It was going to be a natural transition that was probably going to come across as banter, but we're in a time crunch because it's a pod shop, Brittany.
It is. Indeed it is.
Keep it on
got it.
Keep the boat on the rails.
You got it.
I'm glad you took all that time to explain it.
We're out of time. Everybody. Today we're talking about book to film adaptations because there's so much coming up before the holidays
Yes.
and a lot of like interesting stuff that
And a couple after.
Yeah, I've got some later ones.
Okay, I don't.
That's fine.
They are on the horizon, though.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of ones when I was doing research for this episode, I had no idea were on the horizon.
Sure.
Yeah.
So let's dive right in. Like, what are you guys excited for in the near horizon?
I have one that I want to mention that just started, but it may not be on people's radars yet, is the Lessons in Chemistry, which is an adaptation of the very, very popular Bonnie Garmus book. And they've turned it into a TV series, so it's not just a movie. It stars Brie Larson, and it's on Apple TV. And she is a scientist in the 1950s who is looked down upon, obviously, because it's the 1950s, and she's a lady in the sciences. Even today, women in STEM is still a thing.
Yep.
But she turns from just trying to be a pure scientist and to help support her family takes a role as a host on a cooking show. And then she interjects her science very stealthily into her cooking show. And it's a very, very fantastic book. It was actually the runner-up choice for On the Same Page this year. But so far, it's getting fantastic reviews. So
Cool.
yeah.
So it's a book that was released recently as well.
Yes, within the last year or so.
It's a quick turnaround.
Yeah. I've been seeing that more often. Like, usually adaptations are based on like classics or stuff that's been around for a little bit.
Sure, and it seems like often now film rights are selling with the book, especially if they anticipate that it's going to be a bestseller.
Yeah.
Do you think books like that are released today, do you think they have the film production in mind when they're being written?
I think some of them may, if it is a more commercially minded author.
Sure. That makes sense.
So.
It's kind of a bummer to me.
Yeah. Because
Just
like
write a good book.
you're right.
There's a lot you can do in that medium that you can't do in other mediums.
Sure.
Don't kowtow to the big executives in
Yeah,
HBO.
exactly.
Like, they can do their own product and
Definitely,
fail or
yeah.
succeed.
Right.
Definitely not at HBO because they don't believe in content.
Right. Isn't it not even called HBO anymore? Now it's just called Max.
Yeah. It's dumb. Zaslav is making every bad decision.
Like, what does Max stand for?
It was HBO,
HBO Max.
Well,
and now it's just Max.
because it was home box office, right?
Yes. HBO was home box office, but I think the Max was just like HBO Max. Like
Maximum.
The Max.
To the, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good.
It's the worst.
And now do they still have a primary focus on reality television?
That's still what he wants to do, but
Cool.
I don't think that the stuff has like come out really, as far as I know. I don't really follow it that closely.
It's like the last bastion of like good, mature, rated original television.
Gone.
It's
Yeah.
done. Game of Thrones killed everything. I blame all of
Even
it.
itself.
Like,
Honestly.
it sucks that they ended after the third season. I know what you're excited for, Chloe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the upcoming Willy Wonka movie.
Oh,
Called
I thought you were
Wonka.
going to say Percy
No.
Jackson and the Olympians.
Well, that
Oh, no.
too, but
I was
there's
gonna
one
say
that's
the
coming
Hunger
out
Games.
close. Yeah, the Hunger
Friday.
Games comes out tomorrow when we're recording this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it'll be out when you guys hear it. But
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that. I loved that book. I thought it was a really good prequel.
I have several of my students are also, that's what they're doing tomorrow.
Yes.
I've been informed.
I have been told that I'm watching the Thanksgiving horror movie tomorrow.
Oh, gross.
Oh, what's the name of it?
Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that. They just my parents texted me and were like, we're seeing the Thanksgiving horror movie on Friday. And I was like, I don't know what that's called. I can't look it up.
I'll
It's
be
called
next door.
Oh,
I wish.
I've seen too
Hopefully
many
I'll see
ads
it on
for it.
Saturday.
Mm.
I haven't seen any.
Like, I let my oldest son watch YouTube occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
And even when they're watching, like, stuff made for children on the regular YouTube channel, sometimes they'll have ads for, like, Thanksgiving or Five Nights at Freddy's. Or the Evil Dead Rise, they had a lot of that, and it's like the Red Band trailer that play for the kids when they're like watching SpongeBob clip shows.
You're supposed to mark that videos are made for children so that the
Right.
things will be age restricted, but I don't know if that's an error on the people posting or on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think the one guy that my son watches, he does like commentary. He's got like a Bostonian accent, and I think that might disqualify him for like kids television. So,
Probably.
So now
That's
Jonah
really
gets
not appropriate.
no, not at all. Jonah gets to watch the scarring television.
Oh, no.
Just intermittently.
Yeah. Just a little bit is good for you.
I think so.
Yeah.
Was the book supposed to be on par with the rest of the series?
The Percy
The ballad.
Ballad of Songbird and
yeah.
Snakes.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think it's very well done. Did you read it, Brittany?
I did not.
It's good.
No.
I really liked it. It's quite dark still. It's from the perspective of President Snow, who's like the main villain of the other series. the main
Donald
series.
Sutherland.
I didn't realize until I watched a TikTok about the upcoming film the other day that round of Hunger Games wasn't until like the 10th round. That was
Yes.
like the 10th round of the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
And so now, like the person that was doing the TikTok video did like a rundown of all the winners of the first 10 and where they ended up. And several of them didn't have good endings, even though they
Yeah.
won the Hunger Games.
Most of them. I think that's true for the whole
Yeah,
history.
that was just
of
wild
Hunger
to me.
Games.
And
Yeah.
now there are like fans clamoring for we want a book for about the other winners.
Yeah,
and
I
so-
think just it's good where it's at. I think less is more sometimes, but I did enjoy this prequel. I was like skeptical about it, kind of, but I liked it.
Who's going to be in the movie that was in the original trilogy?
nobody.
Okay.
except for
The,
President Snow,
Right.
but a different actor because he's very young. It's
Right.
like
So it's
60
like
years.
I see.
in the
So it's
future.
not going to be like Donald Sutherland with like young
no,
people
that
makeup.
would be terrifying, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he's like a teenage boy.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in school still. Kind of like shaping the Hunger Games. They kind of use like these students as like a think tank to be like,
Interesting.
how can we improve the games? And then they use their ideas like for real.
Wow.
Yeah, Rachel Ziegler is in it as well.
Who's that?
I don't know much about her.
She's the new Snow White. in
Yes.
the Disney live action
Okay.
Snow White.
Okay.
All I know about her is that whole controversy.
There is a lot of controversy surrounding her right now.
And I'm just trying to keep that away
Yep.
from the Hunger
Yep.
Games.
Well, just that movie in general, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because don't they?
She was but someone starring in a movie should not say such things about
Yeah.
anything, but
Oh, I guess I haven't heard anything.
that's okay.
I just
No.
heard the people were frustrated that
They-
they had regular, not regular size people.
On top of the frustration that they keep doing the live action remakes, which
That's where I'm at. I don't
no
care about
one
anything else.
wants them.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
like any of them?
I actually did like the Beauty and the Beast one.
I think
the
that was
rest
the
of
best
them
one.
have been terrible.
That was the best one because they added a lot to the story. That kind of filled in plot holes from the original movie.
Yeah,
That was Dan Stevens as the Beast. I like him a lot.
and
And
Emma Watson.
Yeah,
Then I like her too.
me too. She's very cool.
Yeah, but pretty much. Rupert Grint, is he doing anything, or is it just the
I think
two
he's
others?
just a dad these
Yeah,
days.
he's
Okay,
just like
that's sweet.
happily. I think he does music, maybe.
Okay.
Like I think I've seen a picture of him with a guitar. So I don't know.
Also
so
a
it really
so
mustache.
probably. Oh.
quite a ginger men who have mustache. Very rarely works for them, I'd
Yeah.
say. He's trying though.
This
Yeah.
is not one of those instances in which he did either.
It sounds wholesome, though.
Yeah, I think
so.
Yeah. Yeah, he seems happy.
Yeah, good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm super excited for much coming up.
You're not excited for the Charlie the Chocolate Factory?
Like, I didn't see the original.
What? You haven't seen either of the?
No.
That's surprising.
People told me to watch it, and I was like,
No. I'm surprised you
Like,
didn't,
absolutely
like,
not.
as a kid, see the older one.
Right, the one with Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
that
I
one's
love
very
Gene
good.
Wilder.
Yeah.
But anytime like I was going to turn it on, my dad would be like, "You want to see Gene Wilder? Look, I've got Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles in the collection." And so,
Those are both probably better.
yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
But
I
like
like both of the old ones.
and I know so much about the movie because it's just been referenced through media
Sure.
and history. Like I saw the Futurama episode. So I
It's
know
exactly
nothing.
the same.
I'm sure it is.
You haven't read the book either? The book is good.
Yeah.
No. Like I'll get on it.
It's okay.
Have you heard anything about the new adaptation?
It looks
Well, the new-
bad.
Oh no,
The
who's that?
adaptation.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, but it's a prequel to the book. So
Yeah.
it's unexplored territory. Also,
Interesting.
Hugh Grant is an Oompa Loompa, and I don't know how I,
didn't
feel
know
about
that.
that.
I don't.
Okay.
Indeed. He
Why?
is. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I'm reserving judgment.
I don't know if I'll watch it. I'm not a Timothy Chalamet fan. I've never seen him in anything, so I can't really say that I don't like him. But something I don't like. I don't know.
This will probably be the only one that I watch.
I have
Universe.
him. He's in one other one on my list.
Yeah.
Coming up, which is Dune 2.
Oh,
yep.
yes.
I had that one.
Comes
I did
out
hear
in
he was
March.
good in Dune.
It's very good. I'm
probably like
looking
that.
forward to it. It was supposed to come out in December, but because of the strikes, it got pushed back to March.
That makes
So-
sense.
Interesting. Okay.
And Zendaya is in that as well.
Okay, I like her a
Zendaya.
lot.
She's extremely talented.
She is.
Like
Yeah.
every industry out there is lucky that she chose to do something else.
Honestly, she could do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that I think of when I think of Timothy Chalamet was that old Clickhole article. It was like, bad news, Timothy Chalamet fans, and it's a picture of him like getting drafted into Vietnam. The subline is like, Timothy Chalamet has been drafted to fight in Vietnam.
Hilarious.
It's the only thing I can think of.
It's so good.
But I want to see Dune so bad.
Yeah, I do
Yeah,
want to see
it's
Dune.
good.
The book was
It's good.
spectacular.
Yeah.
Didn't Dune have like a 1970s movie as well?
There are two other versions. One is the David Lynch one from
Oh, yeah.
I either very late 70s or very early 80s because Sting is in it.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah. Patrick Stewart is in it.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very early 80s, but and then
Love that.
the Sci-Fi
Honestly.
Channel did a miniseries version of it in the early aughts, which also wasn't terrible. Not as
Okay.
good as the Lynch version, but also not terrible.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
I heard the newest movie was supposed to be like truer to the source material.
It is, and the cast is phenomenal.
Okay.
So
Yeah. That's one that I have checked out from here like 3 times. But it's supposed to be long.
Yeah.
it's on Netflix now,
Oh,
so you can
okay.
just watch it on Netflix.
Yeah, you should probably just start watching stuff in pieces.
Yeah.
Like I used to. Like Corey Feldman's Busted. 1997 Corey Feldman's directorial debut with Corey Haim.
I feel like Corey Feldman has become the new Supernatural. He makes his way into every episode.
And I
now.
couldn't be more
He
for
deserves
it. Taking it back.
How's Busted?
It's definitely money laundering. Like, it's not a
okay.
real movie,
Oh, I see.
but like, they had to release something.
I got you.
It was just Corey Feldman as a cop.
Is
Okay.
Busted an adaptation?
Probably based on his autobiography that he released.
All right. Just
post
wanted
Goonies.
to know how relevant it was to the conversation.
Always relevant.
Okay. Got it.
yikes.
Got it.
Oh, Corey.
But
Yeah.
there's also, I noticed The Color Purple is coming out
I
as
saw
a
that
musical.
too. Yes.
A musical.
Yeah.
I saw it, but I didn't realize it was a musical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, I'm interested because I read the book a long time ago and I really liked it.
I also find it interesting that they've taken the steps to adapt a book that has been very widely and recently challenged all over, and are turning it into a film to give it a larger audience,
Oh.
which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Wonder if that's going to become like a trend.
I hope so.
It should be.
Yeah. That'd be great.
There's also, I think it's out already, but I didn't know that it was out because it had no publicity whatsoever. But there was the newest Exorcist movie. When I was like,
What is that one called? Is that's not the beginning, right?
I don't think so.
I know I have seen a little bit,
Yeah.
but maybe from social media, not from.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it sounds like the publicity that it got, like they had a good marketing team, so it seemed like it was going to be back to like the roots of the source material.
But it got really bad reviews, right?
Oh god, it panned.
Yeah.
It was like, no, this is like a PG-13.
Oh.
like,
They should have just stopped
cookie
with the
cutter.
original one.
They really should have.
Should have just stopped.
Even the second one, not great. Just
Wow.
one and done. Should have
Yeah.
been.
Yeah.
Exorcist movies, when they're done well, they're fine.
Yeah.
Like the Exorcism of Emily Rose, which I think is an adaptation based on like a piece of nonfiction because it was a real story. But and I kind of like the way that the movie handled it. Like the source material argued that she probably had psychosis, and so that was kind of like handled in the movie.
Sure.
It was like, how do we
Interesting.
balance that?
They don't really address stuff like that usually in exorcism movies.
Not usually. In real life, it's either psychosis or actors,
Yeah.
Right.
I
Typically.
would say.
Yeah.
And if you go on, there's a reverend on YouTube who specializes in exorcisms, and they're good for a watch. They're very good.
for a while.
Yeah.
They're so lovely.
That sounds entertaining.
What else are you excited for coming up?
We mentioned the Percy Jackson one,
Yeah.
December 20th on Disney Plus. I'm really excited for that.
I was a little bit too old to be in on like the Percy Jackson hype, which is why I like the Heroes of Olympus, and those ones
So
were
good.
more up my alley. But I saw a still shot of the lightning bolt,
Yeah.
and it is like stylistically
Oh,
gorgeous.
I can't wait. I've been avoiding
It has
watching
like
stuff.
a grip in the middle of it. It's gorgeous.
I'm so
Cool.
excited.
Identifiably Percy Jackson, so you
It's
can.
very cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. I like that Rick is pretty involved and the cast seems really good. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Good.
If it's bad, I'm going to be devastated.
I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be.
I don't think there's any chance, really.
Did you guys say that the original Percy Jackson movies were
God awful.
mid-tier?
So bad.
Lower than mid-tier.
Bottom.
So,
Oh, jeez.
so
I never saw
bad.
the second one. I don't want to put
Like
myself
on
through
par
that.
with the City of Bones movie.
Oh, yikes.
So bad.
Why
It's
was
just a different story completely, and
Oh,
they
no.
age all the
Yeah.
characters up. Like it's very. He's supposed to be like 11, I think, in the first one, and it's like a big plot point that he's gonna turn 15 or 6. I think 16, and then in the first one he's just like, I'm 16.
Yeah.
They're just. It's so weird.
Yeah.
just a stylistic decision that made no sense?
Yeah, I think they just wanted
Logan Lerman.
Yeah, yeah, yep. Casting children is expensive.
And tricky, because like kids are still developing, and
Sure.
who knows how they're going to act.
Yeah.
Like, also, you don't want your child to end up like Corey Feldman.
Hopefully with Rick Riordan watching over them.
Yeah.
they'll be
Uncle
okay.
Rick's got it handled.
I would
Yeah.
imagine so. Like, he's got experience as
Yeah.
being a huge YA author. What do you guys think makes a good adaptation? We talked about this in like our first episode, but we didn't.
We did, and I think I don't remember if we've mentioned Aragon or not, but
Oh.
Aragon has such good source material, and the adaptation is so flat.
So bad, just
Yeah.
lifeless.
Yeah.
Love that book.
Yeah. I'm not. There are just. It's non-readers making film
Yeah.
is what makes it bad.
Yeah, you have to care about
Because
the
they
source
focus
material.
on the wrong things and miss either the nuance that makes the book so special or some sort of character development that makes the book so good.
They go for
Sure.
the spectacle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Michael Bay it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I could see like a lot of directors wanting to get like an existing IP just so they have an established audience, and they're like, "I'm going to do my movie."
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And-
I'm going to
Top
do
of
it the way I
this.
think it should have
Yeah.
been done. Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's like, no, just write a movie.
The Dark Tower was like 7 books.
Well,
Right?
Don't contain them all into one like garbled mess of a movie starring like one of the best actors working
Ever.
today.
Yeah.
who was it? Who was in the
Idris
movie?
Idris Elba.
Oh, he's so good.
Like, how do you do the Dark Tower where he's a cowboy in a western, like an apocalyptic western, and you blow it?
Yeah.
That's tragic.
Yep.
I think that's the biggest grievance that I have. Like the team that took over the Resident Evil series.
Yes.
It's like fun movies to watch, but like those were slow burn games set in a cabin, in the movies. Mila Jovovich. Mila Jovovich. She's a good actress, but like I can't get behind the movies because I'm so attached to the games.
I liked the first one. I didn't like any of them after that.
Yeah.
The second one wasn't terrible, but after that I couldn't handle them.
No.
Kind of like the Underworld movies.
I was gonna say those in Underworld were like competing, and then they became the same movie basically.
Sad.
It's sad.
Yep.
What do you think makes a good take the two? What do you think makes a good adaptation, Chloe?
Basically what Brittany was saying. Like, you have to care about the source material. I also don't think it has to be like a one-to-one. I'm okay with things being changed if it makes sense, but it has to make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like completely what we're talking about, but there was an Evil Dead remake that was done in 2013, and they took the original Evil Dead, and it was like kind of the same idea, the same setting, like almost a shot-for-shot recreation of the cabin, I think.
Yeah.
But they did their own thing, like totally different tone, and it was like a very faithful adaptation because you could tell that they loved Evil Dead.
Yes, I really liked that.
Well, yeah, they took everything that worked of the series and they made it great. So it's like you can see when somebody loves the source material because it comes out.
I think that, and I haven't watched it to really be, but I feel like that's what the gaming community has said about The Last of Us. I did not see very much negative about that, but from what I understand, it was very, very faithfully
Yes.
tracked the game, and there were even like shots side
That's
by side,
cool.
still
That's
shots
really
from
cool.
the game and the TV show that matched right up.
Yes. That's
So-
one that I am like very annoyed with myself for not like finishing because like I saw maybe a third of the season and I loved it.
You can go back.
Yeah.
I'm going to because I subscribed to HBO Now or Max or whatever it is, the streaming service, before The Last of Us came out. For The Last of Us, I still haven't canceled and I
yeah.
haven't used it, and I'm still paying.
You gotta
like
watch it.
Well, the House of
$15 a month.
Dragon
It's so
season
expensive.
2 comes out soon, so you might as well keep
Like,
it now.
I am done with that universe.
I don't know. The House of Dragon also got spectacular
I
reviews.
saw that, and I'm sure it's great, and I'm sure everybody involved like probably shares the same like frustration with how the original series ended.
And now I've been seeing chatter for Snow again, so it looks like that is back on the schedule. So
Well,
just pretend that season 8 never happened. This is the correcting the ship,
yeah, I don't know.
righting the rails, or whatever you said earlier.
Was it the first Halloween episode we did?
You said something.
You said, let's get this boat back on the rails, and I think about it all the time.
It's so funny.
No, it's just a series that like slowly fell apart. And, like maybe in a few years I'll revisit it.
Sure.
It's like The Walking Dead. Now there's like 5 different
Oh,
spin-offs.
I can't even do it. I stopped after season, I think, 8, and I will never go back because it started out as such a good show.
It
Another
did.
adaptation
Yeah.
of the graphic novel
brilliant
series.
adaptation,
it was.
too.
And then it became just so formulaic, and you could predict like when a character was going to get killed because they would be in the background for a couple episodes, and then they'd have a spotlight episode, and then what? Nope,
That's so
there.
annoying.
Yeah.
It starts with a violin playing. Oh no.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they have the most absurd plot armor through
Yeah.
episodes. Have like 20 zombies on top of them. and it'll
They
be
hide under a
fine.
trash can.
Yep, then it's good. But you're supposed to think they died. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounded like the last maybe 2 seasons were supposed to be like legitimately back to being good, but they
yeah,
lost
I
like
don't-
75% of their viewership.
viewers.
That's
Yeah.
nuts. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
like hardcore plummet, and it wasn't like I don't think it was a like specific stylistic or like huge decision. It was just like it just petered out. It was the same thing over and over. They run into another group of like
I think
hostiles.
I think it made a big difference when Andy Lincoln left too. One adaptation that I didn't know was coming out, but I discovered when doing research for this, is an adaptation of The Boys in the Boat, the nonfiction book by Daniel James Brown about the crew team, the USA crew team that went to the Berlin Olympics. It's starring Joel Edgerton, he of Kenobi fame.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't know that was happening, but that was a very, very popular nonfiction book.
That
so
still
I'm
circs
interested,
a lot here.
to see how that movie is.
Yeah, and I don't think I've heard anything bad about that
No.
book. It's huge.
No, people love it.
It's like,
Interesting.
I still want to see the Killers of the Flower Moon.
It's on my
Yes.
list. I'm
Yeah.
hoping to be able to do it over Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, I've heard it was really good. Wonderful book. It's always
Yeah.
interesting seeing how they adapt nonfiction books
Sure.
to like a narrative story. It's like
Seems hard.
It does seem like it'd be hard.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's something you have to be like intimate with the source
Yeah.
material
Yes.
to do.
Yep. What's your favorite adaptation?
Mine, we've talked about before, but it's True Grit, the 2010
right.
version.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
good.
I love that one. Jeff Bridges, Haley Steinfeld, Matt Damon, Josh Brolin. It's like such a good movie.
You still haven't seen the old
No, still don't really think I'm going
Jonathan
to.
Wayne.
Haley Steinfeld is single-handedly responsible for the downfall of the Buffalo Bills this year.
Okay.
Just
What does
FYI.
that even mean? I don't care. I don't think I still like her in this movie. I don't even know if I've seen her in anything else.
I'm actually kind of ambivalent toward that because I don't hate seeing the Bills lose.
Okay.
Yeah, totally fine.
No,
Okay. What did she do?
What did she
she's
do?
dating Josh Allen.
Oh.
Since he's got a girlfriend, he's been terrible.
Oh, that doesn't seem like it's her fault.
Really horrible.
I
That
think that's his fault.
worked out for me last
I
Monday.
did too, and for Chiefs fans.
Like, you know that the Denver Broncos were on a 3-game winning streak against the Packers, Chiefs, and the Bills after
Definitely.
losing 70 points to
Whoa.
the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew all of that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And there's a positive here in that the Broncos can count to 12 and the Bills cannot.
Oh, no.
That's how they won the game last week.
Oh, okay.
That's
The Bills
too
had
many
too
men.
many men on the field.
Oh, yikes.
So
hilarious.
Seems like
Yeah.
a dumb mistake.
that was good. You were watching the Manning cast while they
Oh,
were
it was so funny.
good.
Peyton Manning, who used to be a Denver Broncos quarterback, they have something called the Manning cast every few weeks with the Peyton Manning and his brother Eli Manning, who used
Okay.
to be the quarterback of the New York Giants.
Sure.
They're very big personalities, very
Yes.
funny and likable. They get really into the game, so even when they have like celebrity guests, like it's mostly just them watching and yelling at the game. And the Broncos, to win the game, kicked the field goal and missed it.
Missed.
And Peyton Manning's head dropped. And then Eli's like, oh, there's a flag. And then you can see like Peyton just like slowly lift his head up.
And then they start counting how many
So
people
many
were on the
men.
field.
And then Broncos kicked the field goal and won the game because the Bills are
Because they got a
bad.
second chance at the
That's
field goal.
hilarious.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh
They should have won
Allen.
the
Lucky.
first time because Will Lutz shouldn't have missed. But
Yeah.
True. And shouldn't have like not made 2 extra points through
right,
again.
right. Yeah, yeah.
But Josh Allen, what a
Ooh.
good-looking guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like spectacular.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Like
If you say so.
I think like who's a more attractive quarterback?
The quarterback for Notre Dame, whatever his name is.
Okay, like real football.
Whoa!
I don't know who that is. I'll look him up.
I don't know.
Josh Allen.
I'm gonna have to see pictures of all
He's a
these
little
guys
young for me,
after
but
this.
Yeah. He's I don't know how old he is. He's got a baby face.
26, maybe.
Yeah. The Zach Wilson looks like he's 8.
Yeah.
Plays like it though.
It's gross.
Lord of the Rings be my favorite
Yeah, that's a
adaptation.
great one.
Which one specifically? Just the
Fellowship.
whole series? Okay,
Fellowship
Fellowship.
is
Fellowship's the best one.
Yeah.
exemplary.
Yeah. Director's cut or nothing.
Yes, agreed.
It's just perfect start to finish.
Yep.
Yeah, that crossed my mind when I was trying to think of my favorite one.
Yep.
I think I talked about that last time we talked about adaptations. It's like I tried to think of another one just to change it up. It's like, no, Fellowship is
It's
the
the
best
best.
in my opinion.
It's really, really
Very
good.
good.
Yeah. What about yours, Brittany?
I have The Wizard of Oz is number 1
Nice.
on my
Oh,
list.
that's really good.
That is an example of big changes that were made from book to film, but the film still being very, very well done and very fun, and one of my favorite movies even till today.
Nice.
It's a great movie.
And the best glow up adaptation, in my opinion, is The Prestige.
Oh, I forget
good.
that's an adaptation.
Book by Christopher Priest. The movie is 150 times better than the book.
That movie is so good.
It is much better than The Illusionist.
The Illusionist isn't bad, though. It just
It's
got
not.
overshadowed by the Prestige's cast.
Yeah.
Like that had to
That
be
was it was
intentional.
horrible
right?
timing, right? Just terrible timing.
Like-
Poor Edward Norton.
And I love
Bugs
Ed
Life
Norton.
ants situation.
It honestly is.
Yeah.
Like, was that intentional?
I really don't know.
so weird.
I don't know. The Illusionist is not an adaptation, though.
Okay.
But yeah, just unfortunate timing.
Yeah, you can't beat the prestige
Yeah.
of magic.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So did The Illusionist. Both had a twist ending.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both really well done.
Only one had Michael Caine, though. So
Oh, that's true. Prestige. I can't think. That's an excellent question, though. Like, what had the biggest glow up? I'll say it in post.
Okay.
But can you think of anything?
I can't. I have like a honorable mention for Brokeback Mountain, and that's
yeah.
interesting because it's
Short
such
story.
a short story, and then they make a whole
Yeah.
movie out of it. But I wouldn't call it a glow up because I think the short story was really good.
It was
too.
really good.
Yeah.
Is that Annie Proulx?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's really good.
The Shipping News, also one of hers. That was an
Okay.
adaptation.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Spacey. But that was a really good film too. Judi Dench was in that.
Oh, I like her a lot.
If you asked me when I was 14, I would say Forrest Gump, hands down. And now I rewatched Forrest Gump, and I was like, oh
Bad
no.
movie, bad book. Actually,
yeah.
I enjoyed the book, but it's pretty racist.
I've never read the book.
Yeah.
It's like, it's fine. It's long.
Is it?
Yeah, it felt long. I don't know how long it actually was.
It's between 300 and 400
Yeah,
pages.
not super long, but
But-
too long.
Yeah,
That does seem too long.
Yes, there's a lot more in the book. Like he goes to space and he's stuck in the jungle for years. Like befriends a monkey, I think. in
Is the
space.
monkey's name Wilson?
No, I don't think so.
Because that kind of seems like a plot point from.
Yeah, it
does.
does.
He hits you with racism right off the bat, and I think he was going for like, he is from Alabama in a very specific time and is very like,
Sure.
doesn't have a whole lot of social tact.
Sure.
I only read maybe half of it.
That's
and was
probably enough.
disappointed
Yeah.
because I was like, where's Bubba?
Yeah.
Where's the shrimp factory?
Not
There's
a
no
lot of
shrimp
that.
factory.
There's a lot of ping pong though.
Didn't know that.
The back and forth, back and forth.
It's the one thing they took.
Yeah.
Did he give John Lennon inspiration to write Imagine by spontaneously coming up with the lyrics on Dick Cavett's show next to John Lennon in the book?
I don't remember that part.
movie
I don't
was
think so.
terrible.
That movie wasn't very good. The smiley face shirt.
Oh my
He
God.
wipes his face.
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is it supposed to be real?
No.
Like, you could kind of be like, wow, what a coincidence. But the smiley face thing, that defies reality.
Shroud of Turin, Forrest Gump. Like, it's so bizarre. I don't know. I don't think that was in the book.
I remember thinking that this is like the greatest special effects of all time. They've got John Lennon talking to Tom Hanks. And like you could, you know those old Conan O'Brien sketches where he'd talk to celebrities and they just like have a picture and they would have the mouth move.
Moving.
Like, oh, that's how they did it.
Yeah.
It sounded nothing like John Lennon.
Bad.
What is something you wish they'd do an adaptation of?
Gosh.
They came very close to doing an adaptation of Michael Chabon's Cavalier and Clay. It was going to be like a limited series on like Showtime,
Okay.
and I think they canceled it.
I'm unaware of this source material. Enlighten me.
It's
Sounds
So-
like a fantasy.
it's actually a book about comic books.
Oh.
Like
Interesting.
two friends, Sam and Thomas. They're like best friends around like World War II. And
Okay.
his friend Thomas is Jewish, so there's like a lot of awful stuff.
Sure.
And Sam is gay, so he's going through
Okay.
a lot of other like horrible stuff. And so like they kind of have this bond over like they make I forget the name of the comic book hero, but they create this hero that's kind of like an amalgamation of everything that
Okay.
they're going through. And it's a long book and it's very heavy, but it's so well written. And it's like,
Okay.
I can't remember who the director was supposed to be, but it sounded like, oh, that's like a really good fit. But
Interesting.
think they realized that people didn't want to see it. I don't know.
Sad.
It's very
Sounds
sad.
really interesting.
This is one of my favorite books of all time.
What was
I've
it
never
called
heard
again?
you mention
Cavalier
it
and
before.
Clay.
Okay.
I think I might have mentioned it on the one episode. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
because we were like, oh, is that a Western?
Oh, maybe,
Oh, yeah.
maybe,
Does sound like
maybe.
a-
Yeah.
does sound like a Western.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Phenomenal book.
Yeah.
He went on to write for Star Trek Picard. And he wrote the screenplay for John Carter.
Okay.
A
I
movie.
watched that movie last night.
Are you serious?
Seriously.
That's so bizarre, Rand.
That movie does not deserve the amount of hate it got.
No, it
It is
doesn't.
not a bad movie.
It was like good, I would say.
And it's an adaptation of the
Oh.
Edgar Rice Burroughs, The Martian Chronicles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And you could tell that
yeah.
Shaban loved the original
Yeah.
source material.
yeah, that's good.
That's important.
My brother Jer was watching our first visual episode, our overrated, rated, underrated. He said right before I pulled out Lost. He said seconds before. He's like, I would say Lost is an accurately
It's
rated.
funny because I was talking to my sister last night on the phone and she had been re-listening to some episodes and she's like, there are times when you start saying something and I say it and we say it at the exact same time.
It's
That's
insane.
hilarious.
I like how many people don't hate it.
Yeah, that's
great.
great. Yeah.
Teresa's she wants to come back.
Yeah.
My sister's going to be here for 2 weeks over Christmas. She said she would love to guest star.
Aw.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
bring her on.
Yeah. Let's
get
totally
everybody.
do that. Yeah.
Get everybody. Get Jer on.
There you go.
Yeah.
Love it. He's
Jared's
been
a great
on.
guest.
Yep, that was our horror movie episode.
Yes.
It's good.
Yeah.
Pod shot.
No, what would be your wish adaptation?
I don't know. I'm having a hard time thinking of it. That's so hard because I don't want anything to get ruined.
That's the tricky thing.
I don't know. Do you have one in mind?
I wish they would make an adaptation of the Jay Kristoff, Amy Kaufman series, Illuminae.
Okay.
I think that would be a really good series.
I remember you talking about that
Yeah.
series. That sounds really good.
Be good sci-fi. It would fill that kind of hole. There's not a lot of good sci-fi episodic TV shows out there, and this definitely could be done episodically, and I think it'd be great.
Is there anything out there that's good sci-fi
Not
right now?
now.
'Cause Picard is done, right?
Picard is done. The Expanse is done. They keep talking about, well, should we finish The Expanse? But they wrapped up the TV series so nicely. It seems like it would feel weird to
Good on them.
do the last couple books.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Don't drive it into the ground.
No.
Don't hurry things up so you can start your Confederate revisionist
Right.
television show. No, they're going to do their Star Wars show. They were told they can't do their Confederate revision show.
Right.
Good.
The other thing that I think would be good for them to do, and they just ended the Nancy Drew TV show, but I think if they did a one of those, picked up some of the classic mystery series, even a Boxcar Children TV show
I
would
love
be
those
great
books.
for kids.
Yeah.
With a different tone, like the way that Nancy Drew did, kind of like a horror-ish.
Sure.
That'd be cool.
Netflix just released a limited series for kids based on the Unicorn Academy books, and it's wildly popular.
Interesting.
So my girls watched it in 2 days. It's 9 episodes, and they only are allowed to watch TV on Saturdays, and so
Chose their time wisely.
they did. But now Cammie is reading all the Unicorn Academy
Good,
books because
that's
she wants to
awesome.
know more about them.
That's so good.
Yeah, that had a good kind of
Success.
flip-flop effect.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's an example of TV leading to
Yeah.
good things, more reading. It's great.
I think The Giver, I would like to have a better adaptation of that, but I don't know if that's possible. Really.
I like Jeff Bridges too.
Was he in the...
Yeah,
Okay. I don't remember it.
it's supposed to be
Blocked it out.
mediocre though, right?
It was horrible.
Yeah,
It was
tragic.
really bad.
I blocked it out, is that what you said?
I don't remember. I was like, why are you talking about Jeff Bridges?
Is
that's
it
random.
in your favorite adaptation and one that you just thought was an
Hate.
abomination?
So bad. I think the rest of the series, besides The Giver, would be easier to adapt. But you have to do The Giver first. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
And it has to be good, and people have to like it to do the rest
Or
of the
the rest of
series.
it's going to bomb, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sure.
But the rest of the series doesn't have the same color thing that the Giver has, where it's in black and white. So I think that could be interesting. Gathering Blue is my favorite of that series.
I like The Giver.
I don't think
It's
I've
really
read
good.
past The Giver.
They're so good. I don't even think The Giver is the best one, but it's excellent. No, they're not even related, really. I read them completely out of order and didn't know that they were a series at all until like much later. But they're so good. More like thematically connected.
Interesting. I remember in the 8th grade when we had to read it for school, that was like the first time that I fell like deeply in love with a book.
It's so
'Cause
good.
I was so used to Goosebumps, and it was like, this one hits so much harder.
There is a Goosebumps series now too
wanna
on
watch
Disney
that.
Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be like good.
I don't know. I haven't watched it because I'm not even a child horror person. I think I read 2 of the Fear Street books, like when
Okay.
I was an older teen, and I
Yeah.
was like, after 2, I was like, nope, these are not for me.
Oh
one
my
of them
gosh.
was about a girl that got murdered at a ski resort. I was like, nope, these are not my books.
You can't see, but Brittany did murdered with a quote.
I did.
Did she not die?
I can't remember.
Okay.
It was like one of those they saw it through the window type of things.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
That's scary.
You can't be super explicit in the Fear Street series. Can't. So maybe
Yeah.
it's just their way of getting around
Yeah.
Yeah.
censorship.
Yep.
Do you think the 5th season would be a good adaptation, or like too much?
That you'd have to do like a series, I think,
Yeah.
because there's so much going on, and I don't know. It'd be really hard to do.
Yeah.
I think casting would be very difficult because there's like a lot of like racial tension in that series too,
Sure.
and but it doesn't like it's not a 1-to-1 to like our society, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like I don't know how you would do that exactly.
Yeah, I feel like world building in a fantasy movie is extremely difficult. Like in a series, it's a little bit better, but it's nothing like a book, which
Sure.
is like built upon
Yeah.
just like slow burn.
Yeah, it's supposed to be set so far into the future that like people's hair has like evolved to be like a defense against like the ash and stuff
Oh,
in, the,
wow.
in the air.
That's so interesting.
So like everyone would have to have wigs because their hair is like completely different from how our hair is
Sure.
now. Like
Yeah.
it would be difficult.
And like
You have
you
to
would,
have a huge budget.
yeah. And then like stuff like that, how do you explain like without using like cringy exposition?
Yeah,
Voiceovers.
Yeah.
It would be really hard. I think.
Yeah. But
I'd watch it if it ever happens. But I think some of her other like her series, The City We Became, and I'm reading the sequel right now, The World We Make. That could actually be a really good adaptation.
okay.
Because it's more like urban fantasy, and I think it could be, and it's really visual in the series, so I think it could be good.
Just people need to take risks.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that anymore.
No.
I don't know if that's true, but it seems like they
Yeah.
aren't.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we are in podshot territory. We're at 43 minutes.
Ah, we're
Good.
kind of in the in
Perfect.
between.
Perfect.
A podlet.
Yeah. Okay.
It's good. I had fun.
Yeah.
Me too.
Lovely.
What I took from that is I'm going to watch Wonka,
No.
Willy Wonka.
the original Johnny Depp film.
The amazing.
That one's good too.
Okay. Tim Burton and Johnny Depp. I don't know.
Maybe it's just because I grew up with it, but
Sweeney
I like
Todd
that.
is.
Maybe.
I love Sweeney Todd.
I do like Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
Sacha Baron Cohen was in it.
Oh,
Was he?
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's good. Podshot.
Hot shot. You've just been hot shotted.
Oh man, we have to add that. Right.
Teresa.
Well, we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.